Hi everybody, it's me. It's time for another story, a Sonichu fanfiction. I found a few of these, can you tell? This is from Spoiled Syrup on fanfiction.net. This was posted a long time ago, so I hope you all enjoy this. Author's note, this is my very first fanfiction ever. I want to give it a try because it looked like it'd be real fun, you know. It's based on another fan-made comic called Sonichu, which is written and drawn by Kristen Weston Chandler. I don't claim to own any of these characters, just a fan story done for fun. Please read and review. Forbidden Fruit, a Sonichu fanfic by Spoiled Syrup.
You can't defeat me now, Sonichu!
The Wicked Witch of Hearts, Sloweel, boasted. She was riding on top of a broom as her army of jerkops terrorized the fair city of Quickville.
This land shall be mine, and you will become my slave. You will no longer know what love is.
Sonichu blasted through the army of evildoers, including Clyde Cash and Relnak Natsu Natsirk. He felt the power of love from his friends and family pulse through his body as he defeated each enemy in front of him at breakneck speeds. Then, it came time to defeat the evil witch. He heard the voice of his father screaming around him as the evil witch raised up her wand.
Sonichu is up to the extreme!
It ached as his body began to spin towards the witch and charge her with his most powerful move, the Volt Tackle. But she had her own move. She sliced her wand downward. At the top of her voice screamed,
Death Dream Revolution!
The sky cracked, the ground rumbled, the world around Sonichu shattered and broke, burying him alive, until the ground around him sank away. Sonichu looked down to see that below him was magma. He wanted to climb out of this hole, but it was no use. Sonichu felt himself burn up. He was about to hit the magma, which would swallow him. And then he woke up. He sighed. He had morning wood again. He stared at the pink and yellow ceiling of his bedroom. He always woke up a little bit before sunrise. He felt the familiar comfort of being in his own bed with Rose-Chu, his wife, cuddled next to him. Sonichu snuck out of bed and did his morning stretches. He entered the bathroom and noted that his body had changed to its now natural form. He looked like a slightly taller than average 19-year-old human man with naturally blonde hair and green eyes. Sonichu had a toned runner's body and now had to wear clothing that covered his naughty bits. He and the other denizens of Quickville started taking human form after the Asperpedia trial and the adventures it ended. After using the bathroom, he got into his jogging suit as usual. He stumbled down the stairs silently as he could. He didn't want to wake up his kids, or the housekeeper and nanny, Heather. The sun hadn't peeked out from the horizon when he entered the kitchen. According to his routine, he plucked the pink and blueberries off the Zapbud potted plant sitting in the kitchen windowsill. This caused the plant to wither to nothing but dust. He shook the dust out of the pots and planted the berries in them. He then placed the potted plants, oh my god, into the berry pot's key item in his backpack. Pokemon. He opened the front door and started jogging. Sonichu took the same route every morning to get flowering Zapbuds. Rose-Chu was always very grumpy in the morning, and he had learned nothing make her light up with joy more than fresh Zapbud flowers every morning. But Zapbuds took 3 days after their berries had been planted to start flowering. The next day, they would bear berries, but the rest of the plant would be dry and crusty. The sun was just rising when Sonichu reached the farm. He tried the door of the farmhouse with his slightly sweaty hand to find that it was unlocked as usual. Sonichu walked in the house to see Sandy eating cereal at the kitchen table in her pajamas. Sandy waved at him, smiled, motioned for him to sit down.
Morning, Uncle Sonichu, Sandy greeted. Dad's out picking wildflowers for you right now. He'll be in a minute.
Sonichu nodded and poured a glass of water for himself. It took an hour of jogging to get to Wild's farm. Sandy blushed since she had become human as well, just like any other hedgehog Pokemon. She was only about 13, but she had aged fast for a Rosie. She knew that since about a year ago everyone became human and started aging at the same rate as humans, but it made for real strange instances where both her and Sonichu were still in their teens, and that didn't really make a lot of sense. But not much did in this kooky world. What really didn't make sense to her is that Sandy felt all awkward when Uncle Sonichu was around her. Because she felt awkward, she sputtered, "It's taking longer than usual. Why don't you just go out and see him?" Sonichu nodded while Sandy tried to hide her face. Sonichu went out to the field and saw that Wild was checking on something. Sonichu decided to sneak up on the larger man. Wild was only wearing a pair of work pants, boots, and gloves that left the upper half of his body bare. His body was tanned and his green fur had turned to brown human hair. Wild now, like Solid Snake from Metal Gear. Okay. And he really liked to tease the ladies by showing off his hot bod. Sonichu crept up behind Wild and suddenly grabbed his shoulders. "Boo!" he cried, startling Wild, turning around and punched Sonichu in the stomach. "Ow! Dang, that hurts!" Sonichu said as he got up, massaging his abs. Sonichu stood right next to Wild to see what the bigger and older-looking man was working on. "Sorry about that, Sonichu," Wild apologized, eyed the other man's backpack. "Here for Zapbud flowers, eh?" Wild had a row of potted flowers waiting, and he and Sonichu made the exchange. Sonichu patted the berry pots in his backpack and to make sure the flowers were secure. "I can read." "Got another plant you might be interested in," Wild remarked. He showed Sonichu his new crop, which caused the younger-looking man to gasp in shock. It was the healthy thing, forbidden in all of Quickville. "Would you like to try a slice of cucumber? It's gonna cost you." Sonichu was dumbfounded. This was the fruit that pickles were made from. Last time he'd seen a pickle roast chew killed a man. She hated pickles with all of her heart and soul. And here were cucumbers just growing like they were some kind of weird, tiny pumpkin. But it had been a year since anyone had done anything that was really fun or exciting. "What's it gonna cost for one slice, Wild?" Sonichu asked, uncertainly. "These plants are forbidden and taboo. It'll cost you something that's also forbidden," the half-naked man said with a smile. What?" "You gotta make out with me." "I'm trying." Wild teased. He didn't actually believe that a good husband like Sonichu would do something like that. Sonichu gulped and felt all embarrassed, but, "Fine, I will." Wild laughed and threw Sonichu a slice of cucumber. "I was just fucking with you." Wild was usually comfortable being half naked around his friend, but for some reason he was really mindful of how little he was wearing. "No, I mean, that's fine. We can do it now." Sonichu put his arms around Wild's bare torso. "Oh my." "While nobody else can see us." Wild leaned in and opened his mouth while unzipping the top part of Sonichu's jogging suit. Sonichu opened his mouth and his tongue reached out of his mouth to meet Wild's. Later that morning, Sonichu arrived back home. He took the flowering Zapbud plots out of the berry pots case. Pokemon has so many things. And placed them under the windowsill. Happy with how they were placed, he reached in the backpack and took out his reward. Sonichu looked at the cucumber slice, and he blushed. He needed to get rid of this before Rosechew or one of the kids saw him holding it. He placed it on his tongue and chewed it. It was so good, since it was the only new thing to enter the life of the hedgehog Pokemon turned man in a long time. The taste, the flavor, it was orgasmic. He knew he wanted to have more, but Wild would probably charge him for more slices, and what if he just didn't want to make out next time? "Sonichu, this Zapbud smell wonderful," Rosechew said as she hugged him from behind. She was in her nightgown, and she felt moved so that she was leaning against the front of her husband. Sonichu gulped and gave a good morning peck on the cheek. She rubbed her thigh against his crotch and laughed. "Rosechew," Sonichu started, but before he could confess to his wife what happened, she interrupted him. "Is that a pickle in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?" I can't believe there aren't more of these. This is incredible. Holy shit, this story is from 2012. My god. but it's fucking amazing. So thank you so much again, Spoiled Syrup, for writing this. I hope you guys are enjoying these. I know I'm not editing nearly as much, and I'm just kind of letting this go however it is, just because I think they're really funny that way. But if you did enjoy this, and you'd like to send in your own crazy stories, you can do that by sending it to my subreddit, r/Moonhorse Stories. And if you'd like to support this channel so I can keep doing this, you can do that by going to my Ko-Fi or going to the merch store. Or both, if you want to do both. That'd be really cool. And make sure you do the YouTube thing with the like, comment, subscribe, whatever. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.